Hello guys and welcome back to my another video. So in this video I'm going to tell you how in 6th grade I became a person who got bullied a lot, and that was because I told a lie, and because of that lie I had to told millions of lies, and today I'm going to tell you why. So when I was in 6th grade I was a really innocent child, which I still am an innocent child, okay? So what actually happened was that everyone used to have quite friends, girlfriends, and me, I don't even have friends, bro. But at that time, I used to have this one friend. Okay, so she was telling me a story about how she had a bunch of guys she had dated, and she told me that she's hitting her fifth PS, and I was like, wow, dude. And then I told her an imaginary story about how there's a friend of mine that I'm really close with, that I have that kind of bond with, and I was like, yeah, his name is Pineapple. Let's call him Pineapple. So I told her that my, so-called something something name is that, but that something never existed in the first place. So I was like, really kind of like about that, okay? And what that girl did, she told it to another girl, and that another girl is actually what you would, you know, a person who can't keep things to herself. She's like, she explodes and she tells everything to everyone. Like, she's like, yeah, let it explode. So she was like that. So she initiated that rumor. I was just telling her, like, yeah, this is that happened. I used to watch in movies how kids used to be together and later they get married and like that kind of stuff. And I was just such an innocent child, and nobody believed that. You know, that girl, when she was telling everyone, they were like, oh no, that girl is like so innocent. Why would she have a boyfriend? Like, no, she cannot. And dude, when they asked me in person, like everyone was like, we cannot believe that. They asked me in person, and you know what I said? Yes, because I wanted to fit in. Because if I talk about myself, I just dropped something. If I talk about myself in like 6th grade, I was that kid who never fitted in. Like, I only used to have like one or two friends at a time. I never fitted in, so I thought maybe if I say that yes, I also have someone special, then maybe I would fit in with these people. But dude, that was the most fucking worst season of mine that I took, and that led to so many bad things that happened later on. It was so much worse, okay? So what happened was that I was like, yes, yes, yeah, it's kind of like that. His name is that. He's from that school. And those people were like so much shocked. They were like, oh my god. And then that happened. I was bullied again and again because of that. Okay, at first, like the kid from my section had no idea about it. So the person uh, who initiated the rumor, the girl who initiated the rumor, she was in my section. So she told her bunch of friends from another section. In my section, like in around the people that knew me, they didn't knew about that. But as the time went on, everyone knew about it. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, someone!" And that name was really obvious. Okay, so I took a, like for example, we are taking the imaginary name Pineapple. That, let's call it Winter. Okay, that person's name is Winter. Okay, so whenever like in SST books, like in social science books, there would be a name of the season, winter, and everyone would be like the whole entire class would be shouting winter, winter, like everyone knew, and they were like teasing me a lot all the time. Like, it happened with me a lot of time, like I think 2 3 times. I even cried because of that, because they won't stop saying the name, and they were like, why would he like you, you are black. And I was like, dude, I was just a kid. I didn't know nothing. And I was bullied a lot because of this lie. And I had to lie a lot because of this lie. And this started in during the end, almost the end of 6th standard. And this lasted until 8th standard. Well, when I was in 8th standard, COVID started. So finally it was, yeah, COVID. COVID saved me. Otherwise, but it was really bad memory of mine. Like, literally, like the closest friend of mine. I didn't used to have friends, but yeah, Like the people I was close with, they were like, and I used to cry every single day after I come home, and I used to be like cry in front of my mother, and my mother used to ask me what happened, and I wasn't able to tell her what happened. Okay, yes, that was really bad. And then yeah, it was really bad. Like I was bullied a lot of it. And one time, I finally had the courage to tell my teacher, and while the kids were teasing me, because as soon as I reached the school, they were in front of me, and they were like, "Yeah, winter, winter, winter," and all that kind of stuff, this and that. I was like, "I'm going to tell the teacher," and the girl was like, "What you gonna tell her? Tell her in front of me." I was like, "Dude, what the fuck have I put myself in?" So the moral of the story was that don't tell a lie if it's not profiting you, because if it's not going to profit you, then it's going to put you in something really bad. And I was just 11 years old, dude, and I was in that kind of lie. I literally was so depressed that I used to get like insomnia. I wasn't even able to sleep at night because of that, because I knew the next day I go to school I will be bullied because of it. So the reason I thought to lie was that I would be able to fit in and I would be like normal kids, but that really made me a weirdo. A big weirdo. But okay, yeah, that was it.